Hey, welcome in everybody. West Coast time tonight, 9:30, which means it's 6:30 over there on the West Coast. Having been in Vegas for a week, it was crazy to think, 9 p.m. here was 6 p.m. there. So I know it's early for you West Coasters, but I want to give you guys some love because you deserve it. We're going to go over some sales over the past day or so. eBay, Poshmark, Mercari. Nope, no Mercari, Depop. eBay, Poshmark, Depop. One Depop, 6 Poshmark, the rest eBay. Thanks for coming in. If you have any questions, like always, you can ask them when you're watching this later on. Love you guys for watching. Also, I'm putting out a new video today, basically a thrift me video, but I'm trying to spread my wings, look for more items in the thrift store that's not just clothing, looking for other items, because there's a lot of ways to make money, especially on eBay. What's up, Dora? Juliet, good evening. Good evening. Amy, good evening. Lisha in the house. All right. So, yes, looking for different things other than just clothing, but not going too big. I don't want to pack up big stuff. I really don't like doing electronics because I've been burned a lot of times. But, like today, I found some luggage. You'll have to watch the video, see some stuff like that. What's up, Nashville? What's up, Nashville? How you doing? Welcome back home. Appreciate you. Definitely wanted to come on late night to say hello to everybody because I know people are working during the day, and then those West Coasters are getting off. Made my sale goal for the month, 2 months in a row. Jen, does that mean you already made your goal and it's just what, the 20th or 21st or something like that? Let's go, Sierra. Nice work. I need to hit my listing goal. I have not been doing my listing goal. Need to get back in the swing of things. The Polo outlet I went was insane. Items price I recorded, and there you go. Yeah, Polo Ralph Lauren, I said in the last live, is expensive. Even at the outlets, it's expensive stuff. That's why these shirts go for $20 in used conditions with the pony. It's just forever, timeless, and everything. I have some really cool Polo Ralph Lauren items I'm going to be listing soon. I almost want to keep them because they're like OG stuff. I'll post some pictures. One of them's a pair of pants. Also have another pair of pants that are all leather men's Polo Ralph Lauren, and then like a cricket sweater with the polo, like the cricket sweater with the cuffs, that whole thing. The God has returned. Get out of here, Tina. It's not me. Thanks, but I do miss you guys. I like being live. I like talking to you guys, answering questions, all that sort of stuff. Being inappropriate, all that sort of thing. When does the holiday sale start? Holiday sales? I don't know. I mean, what I would do is go into Lowe's and Walmart and see when they start putting stuff out. I mean, I know Halloween stuff's already out, and I bet by mid-September, Christmas stuff will be out. But yeah, just focus on listing, getting all that winter and fall stuff listed, and you guys will be good. And if you're hard goods, just list year round because that stuff sells year round. Already made it for the month, and I've been making weekly listing goals all month. That's what gets you to your weekly sales goals, right? Your weekly listing goals. The work you put in is what you get out. That's about with everything in life, right? Unless you're a salary job, you put a lot of work in, you're still getting paid the same. That's why we do this. Had some amazing pieces though at the Polo store. Oh yeah, for sure. Always. I go in there, I'm like, oh my gosh, so nice. What's up, Lakeland? Do I resell full time? I do, Corey. My full time job is reselling. It has been for the past, is it 3 years now? About 3 years it has been. Reselling, yeah, 3 years now. I left my teaching job about 2 weeks in 3 years ago. Yeah. But I've been reselling for a long time. Those holiday sales get earlier every year. I swear they do. And also, Nick, I feel like season sales become earlier. I mean, I've been starting to sell the beginning of August. I started to sell much more winter stuff and fall stuff. Like I'm selling more jeans than I have. I bought a 47-piece silverware set at a garage sale for $10. I opened it up and discovered it was real Antique silver, all stamped 800, which means 80% silver. Yep. The whole thing is worth 1,800. Let's go. Yeah, so most people look for sterling. Most of the time on silverware, it says sterling, not even 925 on silverware. But if it says 800, usually it's old. I remember my dad had a set of French silver, and it was really thick, heavy silverware, and it had 800, which was 80% silver. So if you see 800 marked on silver, it's usually old, and it's usually 800% or 80% silver. Currently listing right now up to 44 today. Cross list later while watching South Park. It's today Wednesday. No problem. Let's go. I freaking love South Park. I've loved South Park since I was in like 6th grade. Whenever it came out, freaking love South Park. They just like push the envelope with everything, and I freaking love it. I love South Park. This season, this season is just insane. It's crazy. What's going in the box tonight, Amy D? Ain't no box tonight. Box is shut up tonight. Ain't no box. No luck on the job search. They're out there. Actually, I was thinking about this tonight. You guys know we're talking. I got stuff to pack. I'm going to teach you some brands. There's some brands you probably never heard of. Guarantee there's one here you haven't heard of. But I was thinking tonight, I don't care who's the boss, who's the president of a company or the United States or whatever. They're going to always make everything sound good, right? The boss is going to talk about all the good things. The superintendent of a school district is going to talk about all the good things that's going on. Principal is going to talk about all the good things. But no one wants to, address the things that need help. Going back to the job search, job numbers are down. Job numbers are down. Look at the last job numbers that came out. They were revised down, which means unemployment's going up. The economy is not as good as what it's painted to be. I'm so thirsty. I don't know why. At least it's just water. It's not energy drinks. Miguel, thoughts on a Robert Graham men's suit jacket, wool and collar is different. Cool pattern. Would you pick it up for 20? Ooh, 20 bucks. Ugh. Suit jacket. It should go for 50 or more. So yeah, I actually found a Robert Graham linen jacket recently. Blazer. So, yeah, I would probably pick it up for 20 if you're cool with listing it and selling it for 50. I just don't like listing suits and blazers if I just $20 profit, $25 profit. I don't know. It's up to you. My sock, if it was linen, for sure. But my guess is it'll sell around 50, maybe 60. My sock sales have turned into belt sales now. Let's go. Dora. Actually, I have a ton right back there. You guys can't even barely see them. But I have bear belts back there. Ralph Lauren bear belts that I got at the outlet a year or two ago. They sell really well. So belts do sell well. Very, very looked over item at thrift stores, even yellow tag events at like Marshall's, TJ Maxx, outlets, all those things. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. They're saying hi, Amy. Jen, if you're crushing it on reselling, can you scale up and go full time? Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question. If you're crushing it on reselling, can you scale up and go full time? Trying to scale up. I still have the day job. Too toxic, and I need to leave it. Not really for time to resell it. Yeah. I feel like we have the fight or flight. Once you finally pull the trigger to go full time reselling or whatever you do, you make it work. It's fight or flight. You're gonna fight and make it work. So just know that. None of this is easy. You guys know it's a grind, but you always have to look back and think, would I rather be, like you said, at a toxic place? And even if you go full time and it lasts for a year and you can't, you can do it on the side and continue to do it on the side. Do I pick up True Religion? I pick up some True Religion if it's cheap enough, of course. My jeans are $7.99, and you can find True Religion new at Ross now at about every single one of them for like $32, $34. So it's got to be like the older True Religion with the flat pockets and the big buttons. That's kind of what I'm looking at. Evening, folks. What's up, Cody? Cody, who's playing? Oh, it's the Bills and the Ravens. The first game of the season. It's the Bills and the Ravens with your Kansas City right there. I know you're in Wisconsin, right? I think, but you're a Kansas City fan. Yeah, that's gonna be a good game. Bills Ravens. Okay, let's get to packing some stuff. If you're not just now joining or you're rewatching this later, everything I use, you're going to see me using these poly mailers. Everything I use, including when I talk about Nifty or whatever, you can go to surfsupfinds.com, find those on my Amazon list, or get a discount on Nifty on surfsupfinds.com. So I'll just say that now. Found a new brand today, Hickey Freeman. New brand, MJG, where you been? Yeah, Hickey Freeman, American-made brand. It's an American brand. So if we go over to eBay, I'll bring you guys over to eBay real quick. You guys know we're always learning at night and during the day. Hickey Freeman suit. So when you look at a Hickey Freeman suit, let's look at this one right here. I'll share this one instead. What you're going to see the size, it says 44L. It's going to say that it's 44L here as well because it is American. It's an American suit. It's not a European suit. So like Zegna, Brioni, all those suits, Canali, they would say 54 long, and then you convert it to 44 long. So that's one thing about Hickey Freeman. It's true to size. Hickey Freeman, Peter Millar, both are true to size suits. So nice find with the Hickey Freeman. Do you pick up the LL Bean t-shirts? I don't. So again, whenever I talk about things, it's kind of, do I pick it up? It's based off of my buy cost. My buy costs on t-shirts are between $2.99 and $4.99, so I'm not picking up any LL Bean t-shirts at that price. On the True Religion, do you have a size 32 waist on your site? Just Go Chiefs. Oh, look at that. Go Chiefs. Look at you guys talking about Go Chiefs. Do I have, hold on, wait a minute. Okay, there is Facebook. Do I have True Religion size 32? I don't think I have any True Religion, if I'm understanding what you're asking me. First game of the year is Dallas at Philly. Oh, Chiefs play Chargers in Brazil Friday night. Oh, okay. Okay, when's I thought it was the Bills, the Ravens play sometime, Cody. Find that out. Find that out. I sold a Relwyn long sleeve polo in days. Yeah, super good. Bills and Ravens is Sunday night football. Okay, that's going to be a game. Here we go. Mary's got one for us. I found a deal on clothing, said has thousands of name brands, J. Crew, J. Jill, Jones, J. New York, Kenneth Cole, all those, or make the drive. 14 hours. Would it be better to find a shipping company or to make the drive? Would you be very hard? My job, I only got 2 days off a week. Okay, so good question. A friend of mine, Bearded, messaged me earlier this week and said, hey, someone I know has like 2,000 pieces of clothing, and they listed all the names. And all of them were kind of similar to those. Nothing, no like bangers or half bangers. They're all just kind of like run of the mill. And there were 2,000 pieces. I said maybe $1 a piece on those. So it just depends how much you're paying. Maybe $1 a piece. Maybe have them shipped. 14-hour drive, is that one way or is that round trip? One way? Oof, that's a tough one. I don't know. If it was like really good stuff, I would do it. But I don't know about some of those brands that you mentioned. Calvin Klein, I think it was. Karen Scott. And are they, those are even in, if they were new with tags, I would think about it. I'm not even guaranteed that. Not to get carried away with the NFL. Thoughts about Danny Dimes? I don't know Danny Dimes. I know, hold on. Is that who our quarterback's, who's our quarterback about to be? Daniel Jones? Is that who Daniel Dimes is? Daniel Jones? Hello from Portland, Oregon. Love meeting you and your wifey at eBay. Heather, appreciate you. It was fun. I remember Heather from Portland, Oregon. What is up? Shelby and I met you. What's it, the second day, right? But yeah, thanks for popping in. I wanted to come late night. I told you at eBay Open that. I said I need to do more late nights, including Shelby saying it. Yeah, $1 each for those pieces of clothing. Yeah, it's a long drive, man. I don't even know, Mary, if I would even do it if it was local. I don't know. What's up, Michelle? Callie, not fair. You and Chris at Peak on the same time. Is Chris at Peak on? You can always rewatch me later. You can rewatch me later. I haven't seen that dude on late for a minute. Let's see. Okay, let's pack some stuff. I do have a Depop order. We'll just get that knocked out of the way. It is a J. Crew, which I normally don't pick this up, but I picked it up in a bulk buy with all the really good stuff. J. Crew, and it's the Oarsman. So it's got the green tag with the Oarsman. It's just a solid white shirt. Again, normally I don't pick this up, but I was in a bulk buy, and it sold for $18 on Depop. So if you find one of these and it makes sense to you with your buy cost, it might be worth it. Come on, man. Come on, man. Cody, who is it? Who is it? What's good from Indian Territory, Oklahoma? What's up, Chief Smokes? You know what? When I was in Nevada, I was looking at my map in my hotel room. I was there. Being in Vegas for 5-6 days is a long time, to be honest. I was in my hotel room, and I was looking at a map of all the different Indian reserves and stuff around, Native American reserves around Nevada and Utah and Arizona and all over the place. Anytime Jones in New York and Karen Scott come up and you want to be sure you aren't inheriting an old person's QVC shopping problems. Exactly. That's probably what you'd be buying. I would say no. For me, it'd be a no-go. 14-hour one way, no for those. But if it was Howler Brothers like this, I would think about it. Howler Brothers button-down shirt. Never heard of the brand, but when I looked them up, they've got a great sell-through. Yeah, Howler Brothers is a great brand. So everyone write that one down. Howler, Howler Bros, BROS period, is what you're going to find. Howler Bros. Good brand to be on the lookout for. Peak on, yeah, that's what they're saying. Peaks on tonight. Peaks on tonight. Appreciate it. Can you explain the sell similar process you mention often? Sure. So sell similar, what I'll do is I'll go to eBay. I just listed an item. So what I just listed was a pair of Ariat jeans. So I'll just go up to the 3 little dots up here if I want to sell those, and I'll sell one like it. I know you can't see it, but it says sell one like this, and it will pull it up and it'll ask you if you want to keep the pictures. You'll say no and put in your own pictures. And then you can just replace the size and your shipping policy and things like that. All the other stuff will be pretty much filled out for you. Saves you a ton of time. If you don't do sell similar, especially if off your own items, because then all your shipping policies and everything are already there. It's like if I sold that J. Crew shirt twice, had another one, which I did, very easy to sell similar. Orders. Want to make sure it's going to the right person. And it is Charles. Okay. Charles bought 2 Kju's retail online arbitrage. Online arbitrage. What's up, Richie Rich? Calhoun. When am I going to get my beaver nuggets? Faith, you go down to K-Way and give him beaver nuggets. Daniel Stephen Jones, a.k.a. Danny Dimes, was named to Indy starting QB. Yeah. So I know Daniel. I don't know his nicknames yet. His nickname's probably going to be Interception McGee. But Shelby and I were talking. We need to throw the towel. Sorry, the NFL talk, guys. But you guys all know Peyton Manning is our hero in Indianapolis, right? For the Colts. What we need to do is lose every game this season and draft Arch Manning, his nephew, in the next year's draft. That's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. So Daniel Jones, I don't care. Have him start, throw a whole bunch of interceptions, and let us get first pick. I've only been on Depop a month, and someone I get Depop fee, 10% plus transaction fee, and sometimes just transaction fee. Why is that? Cindy, I really don't know. I don't know. I can't answer that question about Depop. I can't. 10% plus transaction fee. I don't know about that one. Depop, they don't take much, and I do the boosted 8%. So I do the boosted 8% of my whole store, and that item actually didn't even sell boosted. J. Crew does decent for me. Look for slim fit and nice patterns in women's schoolboy blazers. Yes, women's schoolboy blazers do well for me, and also the stadium jackets or stadium coats by J. Crew, the women's, the wool ones. Do you do Whatnot? I do. I do Whatnot. I just sell women's clothing on Whatnot because I don't like listing women's clothing. It takes me too long. So I just stock up on as much women's clothing, good women's clothing. And then when I have enough, 70 to 100 pieces, I'll run a Whatnot show. And I'll advertise for it before. I just do sudden death, like 10, 15-second starts, $1 start, sudden death. Just run through it all really quick. When you comp stuff, how detailed do you get? Do you put the size in, color, or fabrics? No, like those Ariat jeans, they were M4 boot. I didn't even put the size in. I just put Ariat M4 boot. And a whole bunch came up. Then I just looked at sold, completed listings. And I just took one that had the best title that I liked. Like just the first 10 I scrolled through, the best title I liked, got it. And then I put in my own sizes. So no, I usually just put in like the style and what it is. Manning is a Vols hero. I know. The Colts haven't done anything since he left, and neither has Tennessee, the Volunteers. I'm from Colorado. What's up, Colorado? K-Way strikes me as a hot dog sausage guy, more than a beaver guy. I know, right? He's just a big meatball. He's a meatball guy. He's a meatball sub guy. Live at night? What'd I miss? Sophia, nothing. We just packed up a J. Crew shirt. That's it, I promise. But we are about to pack up these K-Jews. This brand used to be better. I really wanted it to be good when I thrifted these. But they have little skier guys all over them. That's probably not why I thrifted. I bought these retail arbitrage. Bought these for 20 bucks a piece. Sold them for 30 bucks a piece. So that's where I'm at now. I just kind of marked them down, had them 2 seasons, get my money back out of them. So I sold both of these for $59.98. $59.98. It was a promoted listing. Promoted listing. Gonna put these. Actually, I won't fold them. I'll just put them regularly, like this, and an eBay bag. Have you been doing retail arbitrage lately? Some stores are heating up. I did not when the Marshalls and TJ Maxx sale went on. I did not do any retail arbitrage. I was kind of in the midst of a buyout. So I was doing a buyout. I just wasn't feeling it because I was buying all these other really nice clothes for a better deal. And I'm like, you know what? I'd rather spend my money right now on that than going to a whole bunch. But I also went to a couple of stores the week before the Yellow Tag event to scope it out before, you know. That's what you got to do. You got to scope it out before the sales and know which stores you're going to hit up when the sale starts. And the stores I went to didn't really have any great stuff. Ground advantage. By the way, I'm still doing my flat rate. So flat rate, under a pound, I do flat rate $7. Over a pound, I do $10. So like jeans, I do $10 now. Abe, what? Look, you hit 100 orders. It's been 90 days. There you go. One a day. That's good, Luke. Let's go. How do you grow your Whatnot show? How was your first week? Whatnot takes a little bit to grow, right? You got to get people who save you and will get alerted when you go live on Whatnot, so they'll come to your show. You want to just, I would say, be personable, you know, be fun, have good items, good prices. Sometimes giveaways are great to start with, especially like the first days of Whatnot when I was on there. A lot of people were doing giveaways. People still do giveaways. It keeps people in there because once you hit on a giveaway, you kind of have to stay in there until the if you want a chance to get it. Deal, Faith. Come to Calhoun. I'll get beaver nuggets. Actually, if I come there, I want the brisket sandwich. That's what I want. And the banana pudding at Buc-ee's. We're talking about Buc-ee's, guys. How much do you average a year on net income? It's so different every year. My gross last year was like 180, 190. So more than I probably like 80, something like that, 90. But it changes year to year. Changes year to year. It just depends. Like sometimes I'll sell a watch or something, but I guess some of that's not net profit. Or yeah. Great to see you, Suzanne. What's up? Hello, San Diego. But just have fun and keep expectations low with Whatnot. I would say the same thing. Keep your expectations low. I know that sounds bad, but you can't look at these people who are on there that have 100 people in their show. It's tough to get to that point. It's tough to get to that point, but it's doable. Anything's doable. I mean, doing this full time is doable. You can find a way to source. There are people that stay at home. I know people in this city that stay at home, list 120 items a day in my city, and they get stuff delivered to their house. This is cut by the cloth, or cuts, whatever it's called. Cuts, a pair of black pants. Found these at the thrift store, brand new with tags, for $5. Sold them for $32.99 via promoted listing. I promote my entire store at 9%. At eBay Open, I had a lot of people ask me if I promote. And I told them, I explained the whole situation. I said, yes. So I used to do 2, I used to do none, I used to do 5. And then in January, I started doing 10 or 9%. I showed them, I said, look, promoted, Nifty, promoted. So they saw like, hey, you're going to get more sales. You got to pay to play. Where's the queen? What's up, Tish? The queen is upstairs. She's done her teaching for the day. It's my turn to teach. $32 on the cut for the cloth, brand new pants. They were joggers. Have you found any autumn or winter wear selling more? Appearing more to the thrift stores. I'm seeing more windbreakers appearing. I don't know, Busy Bee. To be honest, our thrift stores haven't rotated yet. Usually when our thrift store, I've been thrifting our thrift stores for years. I just know what they do. Here soon, they'll rotate. They'll put all the winter stuff in the front of the store, and they'll start putting their jackets out. Like some of our Goodwills, they don't put jackets out during the summer at all. No sweatshirts, no jackets. But then once they flip the store, they'll start putting a lot of those out. Just like they don't put swimsuits out in the winter. How many hours do you put in a month or week to make that? If I were more efficient, I could do 40 hours or less a week probably. But you know, packing like this, instead of doing it in 15, 20 minutes, I spend time with you guys, take an hour or so, which is good. So it just depends on how undistracted you get. If you're taking pictures and have your phone with you and you're constantly looking at something on your phone, you know, there's a lot of dynamics to being full-time. You can be full-time, you know, if you're buying items for $20 and selling them for $200, you sell 5 of those a day, you're working 20 hours a week. I use Polo Ralph Lauren, a used Polo Ralph Lauren. How much would you price? Roberto, there are so many, anywhere from $2 to $2,000, depending on what it is. Stopped at Goodwill on the way home for my full-time nursing job, and now I'm going to photo and list them. Let's go. That's what we do at night, right? That's what we do at night. That was our side hustle as a teacher. This next brand is called Butter Cloth. Usually I find it in a button-up or button-down shirt, long sleeve. This is Butter Cloth. Good brand. This is a 3XL polo, though. So I don't find them in polos very often, but a pretty decent brand. You know, maybe a step above a bread and butter. Not too bad. What items sell more on Whatnot for Men? Just good brands. You're gonna if you bring good brands that sell well on eBay to Whatnot, you're gonna make sales. Remember when you did a live thrifting? I miss those days. Tej, I know, I do. I remember. I'm telling you, you'd be bored now. My thrift stores aren't packed like they used to be. That one's going international too. International sale. Let's go. International sale through eBay. Never see that again. Next item, sold via promoted listing. A pair of Hurley shorts, size 30. Happy to get rid of these with the winter months coming. Again, if you're new here, I look for Nike Dry Fit. I know it's hard to see, but if I see these Hurley shorts that are like a nylon polyester, they have to say Nike Dry Fit for me to get them. If they don't say Nike Dry Fit, I'm not picking them up. They have to say Nike Dry Fit. I have 3 boxes of football cards. How would you sell those, Richie Rich? What year are they from? What are the years? If they're from the 90s, you might as well forget about it. Even like most of the 80s, might as well forget about it. I sold 2 pair of Ralph Lauren corduroy pants I had from last year today. See? Thrifting Grammy. There you go. Yes. As a matter of fact, I need to take an extra picture of Brooks Brothers corduroys. Thanks for reminding me. I forgot to get the waist size. But yes, my corduroy bin is in the other room. I have two 2 bins of corduroy pants. And yes, this is the time of year they'll start selling. And you notice you've had them since last year. They sold today. It's because it's about to be that hayride weather. It's about to be that hayride weather. I have a couple good items right here for hayride weather. Next item is a pair of 550 Levi's. These are made in the USA. 550 Levi's made in the USA. Normally, I don't pick these up used, but if they're made in the USA, that means they're vintage, 20 years old. And these sold for $22.99. I paid $7.99 for them. What? Butter pecan? No problem. Not butter pecan. What was it? What was it? Buttercloth? Buttercloth. It's so easy not to track hours when you do this. For most of us, it's just a hobby and it turns into our full-time jobs for sure. Buttercloth was on Shark Tank, was it? Nick, true story, everybody. When Bearded and I go on dates at night in the hotel room, every single time Shark Tank's on. And that's what we do. We go out to dinner, we hug each other good night, and then we watch Shark Tank. That's what we do. But yeah, Buttercloth is on Shark Tank. How about that? They did well. The other day I was watching Shark Tank and all the people I was watching got denied. I was promoting minimum. Someone said bump to 3%. So you're ahead of the non-minimum. I'm doubling items sold the last 20 days, which is average 2 a days on 300 items. Let's go. Yeah. When it comes to anything, right? It's just trial and error. So when it comes to promoting, it's just trial and error. Whatever works for you. If you're not happy with something, if you're selling too much at 9%, you might want to dial it back and be like, hey, I can maybe sell a little bit less and pay 2%, 3% less in the promotions, do that like 6%. So whatever works for you. Yeah, I'm all about that. You can never bore us. You'd be surprised. Wait, Hurley collabs with Nike. Nike owns Hurley. Yes. Do you include polo in your Ralph Lauren button downs? I feel like the average buyer will still think that's polo and include it in their search. Yes. So if it's a Ralph Lauren button down, it's a polo. So for example, this right here, this is Poshmark. We'll go ahead and just do it. Even if it just said Ralph Lauren, not polo by Ralph Lauren, I would put polo Ralph Lauren. This is a GI shirt. You'll see these sometimes. Sometimes you'll see them in a better blend, but it'll say GI shirt. There's 2 pockets in the front, 2 work pockets. This sold for $21 on Poshmark. I'll go ahead and put this in a Poshmark priority padded flat rate. I miss thrifting with my dad. Bring him back. Oh, with dad, man. You know what? My mom's going to be gone for the weekend. I could take him thrifting, but usually he gets in trouble when we do that. He buys too much stuff. Best information and guidance you could give to a newbie feeling anxious and nervous. How do you feel? How do you find good, reliable sources for buying wholesale or pallets? So when it comes to wholesale and pallets, that's a really tough one to find good, reliable, because the really good ones out there already have the buyers, and those buyers aren't telling people who their suppliers are. So if you go on pallets.com or pallets on Google or wholesalers, it's going to be like a lot. You're going to be getting a lot of stuff, 70% okay, 30% like garbage, even if you think you're getting 100% good stuff. So I would focus more on like thrift stores, estate sales, stuff like that before you go into pallets and wholesale type of thing. Would you buy Eddie Bauer or skip it? So I do buy some Eddie Bauer. I like women's down jackets, men's down jackets when it comes to Eddie Bauer. And sometimes flannel lined jeans. How quickly do your items sell on average? Also excited I will reach top seller for next month. Let's go, Daniel. I wonder where I'm at with the top seller. Remember, I've been above standard for a while. I'm just telling you guys where I've been. I'm honest with y'all. Performance, seller level. What am I going to be? Ooh, if they evaluated me today, it would be top rated. Oh man, that's September though. Dang it. I'm above standard. 2.29%. Check this out, though, guys. Here you go. 2.29% return rate. That's pretty good. That's not bad. See, above standard, above standard. So you're going to be top rated. Me too. We'll be together. High five. I found 5 Polo Ralph Lauren vintage women's scarves with tags still on them. Now I have to research them and get a price. Yep. Google Lens could help you, Faith. Google Lens could help you with that one. Poshmark just starting doing offering on your behalf. I sold 2 items that way today. I didn't even know that. I didn't know about that. Best flannel brands minus Dixon and Ralph Lauren, Polo Ralph Lauren, CC Filson, good LL Bean, like made in the USA. Those are both good ones. Speaking of LL Bean made in the USA, this is a Nifty sale, by the way. Nifty sent out an offer. Someone accepted it for $31.50. This is an LL Bean corduroy made in the USA double chest pocket shirt. So corduroy, nice LL Bean made in the USA. This is the type of LL Bean that I'm looking for. Vintage, made in the USA, heavier, good quality. You're welcome. You're welcome. So I'm going to put this in a, again, we're doing ground advantage. So these eBay bags, when does Q4 start? I don't think I have an eBay code. I have plenty of these bags. What is it? October 1st? October, November, December. Yeah, that's when Q4 starts. Let's see. Steven. Got that. Out the door. Next thing, I posted these on my Instagram and Facebook today. These are called Align. Aligned. I don't know. You guys can read it. Pronounce it yourselves. Aligned. But I know these are like, you wear these under your shoulder pads for football. A lot of football players wear that. I bought 3 of them, $4.99 each. And I lotted them together and sold them for $49.99. Regular sale, not promoted, nothing. Nifty probably relisted them and someone bought them. In the streets with K. What? In the streets with K in the streets rated. You deserve better. What? In the streets with K in the streets rated? What's that? It's going over my head. All I know, if you're talking about K-Way, I do deserve better. Are you still getting ties? Just found a rare Remy Martin rep tie. I don't know that one. Like Remy Martin, like the drink? Yeah, I do still pick up ties. All the good brands we talk about. Zegna ties, Charvet, whatever it's called. Hermes ties are really good. Brooks Brothers ties, Vineyard Vines ties. Ooh, yeah, Wallace & Barnes is a great flannel brand. Taylor Stitch, Buck Mason. Those are all good ones to be on the lookout for. So $50 for those. Making sure they're going to the right buyer. And they are. Kevin. Nice pickup. 3 of those. Those are probably like $50 a piece. Have you ever done big buyouts from big major companies, popular brands? No, I haven't. Good question, though. So you're talking about like, if you watch Daily Refine, well, what is their Whatnot show called? Might be Daily Refinement on Whatnot. They're always on. Bearded's on Whatnot right now. I don't know what their name. I thought it was Daily Refinement. Maybe it's not, but he always usually has like big trucks that they bought out. To get top seller on eBay, do you have to have free returns? No. If you want top seller plus, top rated seller plus, you have to do free returns, and you have to have 1 day shipping time. If you want top rated plus. What do you think about Tommy Bahama shirts or shorts? Do they sell good for you? The Tommy Bahama shirts that are silk and a really vibrant print sell pretty well. Or if they have a big back stitch on it. My last live, I showed one that I sold. Like a big print, I'll show you. Something like this on the back. That's going to sell well. Tommy Bahama like that, that's going to sell well. Other than that, like shorts, I never get shorts. Never get shorts. Busy Bee, I'm always wondering if something's textured enough to be sheets. In the sheets with K. What are you talking about? With Kayla? Rock on, thanks you, FK. I've got a bonobos tie too. Didn't know they made ties. I did not know they made ties either. Busy Bee, I've not seen a bonobos tie. Want to see a cutie? Look at this cutie. Look at this cutie.
Steph got it.
Look at that cutie.
We'll do those tech decks next. I don't think there's anything in there. Snars, I don't think.
Look at that guy. What a cutie. Okay, back to business. Next item is a Peter Millar cotton. I know I normally don't pick up Peter Millar cotton, but this one is Sea Island, which is a very nice golf course. So if you see Sea Island on a good brand polo, even like Peter Millar cotton, normally I don't pick these up. Pick it up. This was $5. I sold it for $19.99 via promoted listing. Do you have to do free returns to get those on eBay? Yes, free returns. What state are you in city? I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana. Actually, I'm in Carmel, but Indianapolis. How many times do you do live videos, whatnot per week? I do whatnots maybe 4 times a year, something like that. So only like 4 times a year. I'm only selling women's clothing that I find at thrift stores on Whatnot. I've done one Whatnot where I did a buyout. I just want to get rid of everything. But nope, I only do it about 4 times a year. This is going to Sam. Again, Sea Island. That golf course is a good one. Be on the lookout for Sea Island. Sam knows about it. I sold 2 of this brand. 2 of them. This one right here sold for, this was part of the bulk buy. This sold for $50. This is just a button-up shirt. What's the brand? What's the brand, though? That's what you want to know. I found Tommy linen shirt sell well. Yes, Tommy Bahama linen shirt sell well, too. And also some of like the Siesta Key, some of the newer ones that are like the polyester spandex blend. But I don't want to confuse. Usually, if you stick to silk and vibrant prints with Tommy Bahama, you'll do pretty well. But yeah, linen does okay for me. A lot of times I'll find long sleeve linen. I usually don't pick those up. Why don't I like selling women's clothing? Because I've tried it over and over again. It just takes me too long to list it. Like a dress, I have to figure out the type of dress it is. I have to figure out what the model is. I have to figure out, it's harder to figure out the comp. Styles change so much with women's clothing. I just look for good brands. Just good brands. That's pretty much what I look for, and I throw them on Whatnot. This brand right here, you can pronounce it. ISAIA Napoli. ISAIA Napoli. It sold for $49.99. That was part of a bulk buy. The same one with the J. Crew that I packed the first thing in this. Quick drop. What's up, Wax and Tartans? Find J. Crew Ludlow blazers and sport coats, moon tweed. Easy $100 every single time. Yep. Ludlow J. Crew blazers, moon tweed. I actually have a Ludlow blazer in there. J. Crew Harris tweed. First time I've ever found that, and that was from this same bulk buy. I have not taken pictures of it yet. Harris tweed, Ludlow from J. Crew. Usually I find the moon tweed from J. Crew. But you're right. $100. Wax and Tartans. You know what you're talking about. I'll put that in there. Yeah, so I started watching some Whatnot live show. So I'm going to start with a big buyout. Hard to get a good source. Yeah. Whatnot live selling is obviously becoming more trendy. It's popular. You can get rid of a lot of inventory quickly. The main thing is keeping your buy cost really, really, really low. And then getting decent brands, of course. But once you build that audience and people know, you're giving quality stuff, you're not shisty, your prices are good, you're entertaining, you do giveaways, whatever it is, and you're consistent, you'll have people coming back. Women's clothing has too many returns. There you go. Yeah, I don't do it. I said over and over again, like, I'm going to list women's clothing. Nope, not doing it. I will pick them up and I'll throw them in a tub to throw on whatnot, but I'm not selling them. Are you still listing summer items, or have you switched over to more fall and winter? August 1st, I started listing winter and fall. So right now, anything I get that spring and summer, I put in totes and I take to my storage unit. I'm only listing fall and summer right now, which, like that J. Crew, I just listed that. Those jeans, those vintage Levi's jeans. I just took photos of a whole bunch of vintage Levi's jeans. So those are currently in the process of being listed. I found there you go. Before it ended up selling for $70. See, it's a good brand. Let's stay on trend. Let's stay on trend and talk about the other one I sold. There's the other one I sold right there on Poshmark this time. This was not part of the buyout. This sold for $38. $38, and I've had this one for a while because it was on my hardwood floor. Had this one for a while. Have you ever sold jeans without buttons? We have a nice pair of Rock Revival men's jeans, no button. Yeah, Cody, Rock Revival jeans without a button will still sell. Should still sell. I mean, you're not going to get the same price as if it had a button, but they should still sell. If they're a really good one for $7.99, I'd pick them up. All right, so these are going out in priority envelope because they sold on Poshmark. $38. $30. I can't tell if Nifty's sent out an offer on Poshmark or not. I just know that Nifty's sharing all day long on Poshmark. So that's pretty much my deal with Nifty. Share on Poshmark all day long. What kind of plastic bags do you use to store your products? None. I don't use plastic bags. I store my items in plastic bins like items. So like I just showed you, this whole bin that I just showed you down here that I lifted up, that was all vintage Levi's jeans. So if I go and take photos of vintage Levi's jeans, I bring it in here and I put them in that bin right there. If I take photos of new with tags Levi's jeans like this one, I put them in this bin right here, the bin right above it. That's how I organize my clothing. There you go. They're talking. You guys are talking. Is it sewn or riveted? I believe sewn on top. There you guys goes. You can find basic replacement buttons. There you guys go. I love when you talk to each other. I bought a Messi jersey and Caitlin Clark one on whatnot. Just now you're in the background. Let's go, Dora. Yep. Caitlin Clark, our girl. The Fever have 3 starters that are all out for the season. And Caitlin Clark has not played in forever. So the Fever are done this year pretty much. Do you only source items at thrift stores and estate sales? For the most part, yes. Most of the items I source are from thrift stores. For the most part, yes. Nothing duct tape can't fix. There you go. See? How many items you have listed total? Right now, it's not great. Just over 900 items listed right now. It was over 1,000. Then I sold all my women's clothing that I had listed too. Now I'm just trying to keep my head above water. Gotta list 10 to 20 a day, 1 to 2% of my store a day. All right. This is the best sale on Poshmark. I'm going to save that for last. This was an okay sale. Again, it was on my hardwood floor. The pictures were awful. I'll show you the pictures, guys. Let me show you the pictures. That's why I say they're awful. Poshmark. Go down to my sales. And there's the picture of that. Yeah. So there's the picture. I think that is not a good picture, in my opinion, right there. So there's your picture right there. This Johnny O shirt. Sold it for $15. So this Johnny O shirt, $15, not a great picture. And also getting ready to be out of the season, which means it's much harder to sell this shirt during the winter and fall than it is right now. So I'm happy to spend $5 and sell it for $15. Use that money for other things. I sell Eaton. Do I ever source at the bins? I have before, but I don't. A lot of people do. We have 3 in Indy, very popular. I just don't do it. Shoot, this should have gone in a priority because it's Poshmark. That's okay. What kind of fall and winter products should I get that sells? So you're looking for sweaters, flannels, jeans, corduroy pants, and then obviously jackets and stuff as we get into the more cold months. Eaton dress shirts sell good too. Sold one for $69.99. Let's go. So with Eaton shirts, I'll tell this to the chat and everyone watching later on. Eaton shirts. You want to make sure you look at all the buttons, the cuff buttons and all the buttons going down the shirt, that none of them are cracked. Eaton shirts are notorious for having cracked buttons. Just so you know. Just so you know. But not that $69.99 one you sold. That was a good one. Here you go. Wrangler 20X. I just picked this up because sometimes these Wrangler 20X can do well. Audra knows. This one was a pearl snap. It didn't do that great. Wrangler sold for $14. Bought it for $5. Can't say that was my best buy. But I didn't lose money, and it sold within like a month. How do you know which item you made profit or lose or equal? Because my average cost of goods, Roberto, is $5.25. So all these items, $5.25 average cost of goods. So I know, and I've been doing this. I've been reselling clothing since 2016. So I know right away if I'm going to make money or not. You make your money when you purchase your item. As soon as you shoot, that should have gone to priority 2. When you purchase your item, that's when you make your money. For example, this Wrangler shirt, if I would have bought it for $1 to $4 to $5, I know I'm going to make money on it. If it's $10, I'm not going to make much money on it. That's when you make your money, when you buy it. I ship shoes in a priority box and only paid for Ground Advantage. When will I get the adjustment upcharge? Timothy, hopefully, maybe you won't. Maybe it will slide through. Sometimes you'll get an upcharge automatically through your eBay account. Sometimes what you don't want is the buyer to get it, and they'll get a notice saying postage due on an item. They'll have to go to the post office, and to get the item, they'll have to pay the difference in postage. That's what you don't want. You don't want a postage due for the buyer. Sold, there you go. Sold one of those. I don't know how to pronounce the name. One of those shirts last week. Appreciate the late night. You're welcome, Kelly. Gotta switch it up for y'all. Gotta switch it up. I did sell, again, not the best buy, but I just couldn't pass them up. I lotted them together. These are J. Crew, size small, and they're the outlet. See the 2 little dots under J. Crew? That's how you know they're the factory store, is what J. Crew calls it, or the outlet store. I bought 3 of them, $5 a piece, so 15 into 32. 15 into 32. Not the best, but it's okay. How long did it take you to sell 100 items on eBay? It just depends on your items. If they're a whole bunch, if they're crap items, you're not going to sell them fast. If they're really good items, you can sell them all in a day. Sold new without tags Eaton dress shirt today for $49.99. Let's go. Look at that. New without tags Eaton dress shirt. You know, look for those buttons. Well, if it's new without tags, you know you're good. You should do a Surf's Up meetup. Let's go. Surf's Up meetup. In Vegas next year at eBay Open. Surf's Up meetup. Let's go at the Venetian. That's what we're doing. At the pool. I've been buying some snow pants and snow jackets for kids, men and women's. Hopefully they'll start selling for winter. Jackie, I'm telling you, for me, whenever I have snow pants, they sell so quickly. Columbia, and I don't normally buy Columbia. Columbia, Burton, North Face. Snow pants sell fast once winter hits. They sell fast for me. I picked up Roebuck, really good brand, guys, to be on the lookout for. Roebuck Polo yesterday, and it had a small flaw, but I think it will still sell well. It should sell well. That's one of those brands, small flaw, should sell well because that brand just sells for so much money anyways. I'd buy one if it had a small flaw too. I have a pair of 20X jeans I can't seem to move. Yeah, it's kind of hit or miss. The only 20X jeans I pick up are the FR, the flame retardant or flame resistant by Wrangler. Those are Wrangler jeans, everybody. Just sold a Wrangler Pearl Snap for 18. There we go. So I got 14. You got 18. You win tonight. What are your thoughts on purchasing lots from Listed? If it's a good deal, get it. That's K-Way's platform. And yeah, there are people that put up good things for good money, and there's money to be made. But if there's not money to be made on the items, it's just like any other wholesale. You're buying lots. So if you're buying Polo Ralph Lauren shirts, there's a lot of 30 of them, and they're $6 a piece. It's probably worth it to me. If someone has them on there for $10 a piece, it's not worth it for me. We're not supposed to ship shoes ground advantage. No, we can ship shoes however you want. It's however you have it shipped, ground advantage or priority. So I just put these together like that, so I can fold them all nice and neat together and put them in a priority. Put them in a Tyvek envelope. Put these in a Tyvek envelope right here. Found a pair of vintage Polo Ralph Lauren Paratrooper cargo pants, new. Comps are looking like 150 minimum, Whitney. New. How'd you do that? That is a score and a half. Look at that smile on my face. Polo Ralph Lauren Paratrooper cargo pants. Doesn't get better. Do you list new without tags, or is it just new with tags or pre-owned? I do new. So when I list Busy Bee, like if I found a new without tag shirt, I would put new Polo Ralph Lauren shirt in the title. And then when you have to put the condition, there will be new without tags, new with flaws, excellent condition, good condition, fair condition. I put new without tags. But in the title, I put new. I don't put new without tags. I don't put NW, whatever you put there. Nope, I just put new in the title. Never had an issue with that because it is new. And then they'll see it's new without tags. Is eBay open? Confirmed Vegas next year. Cody, I don't know that one. Now, eBay last year, eBay Open was virtual, and on the very last day, they made an announcement that it's going to be live in person in Vegas in 2025, which it was. So they haven't announced yet. Snow pants go fast. They do go fast down the hill. Whiny, I've listed some yellow paratrooper polo shorts. There are only a few sellers to be priced over there. You guys go talking about the paratrooper. How can I take good pictures of the item listed? Find good lighting in your house or outside. It can be anything. I have a video on YouTube that shows how I built my photography station. But you don't have to do that. You can do it anywhere in your house that has good lighting. Just makes your pictures look good. When you finance something, is it difficult to prove income, cents, or resellers? That's a good question, Cam. It's not, because you're showing your bank statements of being paid in. It depends how much you make, right? So your bank statements are getting my eBay every week. I'm getting paid by eBay. So they see that. So if you're trying to get a loan or something, they're going to see that eBay pays you every week or whatever. So it usually it's fine. It's fine. Elbow cough. Ziggy, look, it says elbow cough. If you're doing emojis, I can't see the emojis. What Y2K brands are Bolos currently? I bought a couple today. I'm going to put it out in the video. This is the best item I've sold so far on Poshmark. It just came in before I started the live. See on eBay. Ooh, all right. So I sold a pair of Levi's. We'll ship those together. I'll show you how I find my inventory. Y2K brands. You're looking for like South Pole jeans, the older South Pole jeans. There's an older label to look for. Some of the older American or Abercrombie & Fitch, like this, can do well. Some of this older Abercrombie & Fitch can do well. Abercrombie & Fitch pants. Just look up Y2K on eBay. Look up men's Y2K sold highest to lowest, and just scroll the first few pages and look at those. Jinko, of course, Jinko was more the 90s for me when I was there. So this brand is called Indigo Farah. I don't know if that's exactly how you pronounce it. Indigo Farah. That's the brand of jeans you want to be on the lookout for. The label is very small, not much going for it, but they're heavy. These sold for $117. They are salvaged. They do have salvage right there. So these are a good brand to be on the lookout for. True Bolo. True Bolo. A brand you're not going to find very often, if ever. This brand particularly. And so these are going to go, fold them like that. I put them in a padded flat rate envelope. How much percent of profit is good for you? I like to be like, usually when it comes to clothing, usually 50% or more, than around 50% or more profit after everything's said and done, taxes included. I want to be 50% profit or more on clothing. Usually I'm 3 timesing my money. So on eBay, my average sales price is like around $40 minus shipping. So probably around like $30. My average cost of good is $5. So that gives you an idea. Do you set goals for each year, quarter, or do you just kind of roll with it? What's your ending 2025 goals? Good question, Matt. To be honest, I don't set big goals. Everyone's different, right? Everyone's different. You can watch a million different YouTubers, people who write books, podcasters. Everyone has their own ideas. For me, I'd rather do like listing goals for my business because, again, I talked about at the beginning of this live, the work you put in is what you get out. So I'd like to focus more on the day-to-day. If I can do my day-to-day or a week goal, like getting my listing goals done for the week, I know what the outcome's going to be. I know I'm buying good products. I know my buy costs. As long as I'm listing them, I know I'll be okay. Is a 34% sell-through rate good? Usually some people say it's not good, but let me talk about that. That can be a debate. So, let's say this little Lego car, right? Let's say this Lego car, everyone's asking $100 on eBay. And then there are 100 of them. So there are 100 of them on eBay for $100. When you click sold, there's 34 of them that sold. So we're going to call that a 34% sell-through rate. In the last 90 days, 34 of them sold, and there are 100 listed. Those 34 sold, that's a 34% sell-through rate. Most people say, no, I don't like a sell-through rate at 34%. But if you can buy this for $2 and list it for $50, you're going to have a probably 300% sell-through rate because you're priced under everyone else, and those 34% sold cheaper than everyone else. So there's a lot of factors that go into sell-through rate. You just have to have an item that actually sells, so an item that people want. So if there are 100 items and only one sold, I would not pick up that item for really however much it costs. Do you put aside winter wear you find cheaper in the summer and then polo shirts you get in the winter? I just fill a tote and get ahead. Zero list prior to season. Yeah, so Busy Bee, when I first started reselling, I just brought everything home and I listed it. But as I brought more and more and more home, because you know how us thrifters do, we brought more and more and more home. I prioritized, which is what I do now. So I bring more and more home. Let's say right now it's fall. So it's not fall yet, but it's going to be fall. Let's just say it's fall. I'm going to be listing all these flannels and jeans and corduroy pants right now because I know those are going to sell in the next couple months. Those polo shirts and shorts, I'm going to kind of put aside. I'll get to those when I get to those. Okay. Still thrifting. Now it's March. I'm putting all these flannels and jeans on hold now. I'm getting over here to the shorts and t-shirts and polo shirts. That's how I do it. So all my polo shirts and shorts will go into a storage bin until February while I'm pulling out all the other winter and fall stuff and vice versa. When that time of year is. Do I buy American Eagle? Very few. If I could buy American Eagle jeans for $1 a piece, I'd buy every pair I could find. But they're $7.99 where I live. Do you ever leave feedback for the buyer after they purchase? Good question. I actually have an automatic feedback option. So whenever someone buys something or whatever, I automatically have positive feedback left for them. You can do that on eBay. And also at eBay Open, they let us know that we'll automatically get positive feedback ourselves from the buyer at a certain point. My guess is after the return window passes, you'll get an automatic positive feedback from that buyer. Found a pair of men's Viore pants like new, size 34, but I noticed that the front button is cracked in half. Do I replace the button? The one I have does not say Viore on it. Help. Sophia, I think those pants will still sell fine. I think if you don't mind, if you're great at sewing or whatever, I would probably replace the button if it's the right size button. Doesn't say Viore. I would just make sure you put that in the pictures. I'd rather sell a button that's working than a cracked button. So if I were a buyer, I want to buy a pair of pants that I can throw on right now and wear instead of having a cracked button. So I would probably replace that button. What's up, Aaron? Aaron. Went to Marshall's to buy myself socks and ended up finding 5 big and tall Polo Ralph Lauren polo shirts between $13 and $16. Already sold one for 40 plus shipping. Let's go. Money to be made everywhere. Everywhere. Where can I find your eBay open segment? Good question. As soon as it becomes available, I'll post it. I thought it was available the other day and it wasn't. So let's go on over to eBay. So going over to eBay, I just sold this right here. So again, I'm doing flat rate. So this was $10 flat rate to the buyer. So they paid right here $10 flat rate, and I'm shipping it ground advantage and paying $7.36. So I get a pocket a little bit of that money. Now, if I did calculated shipping, it would have been 40% more. So they would have probably had to pay like $11 or $12 to ship this pair of jeans. So I'm going to purchase it, and then I'm going to get the pair out, which are right next to me because I put them in the vintage jeans section. I'll show you guys. So this is real time how I do it. If I packing. So vintage Levi's jeans, those were 501. 501. Make sure they look like the ones that I did. 32 by 32. Yep, with that tag. All right. So there are those jeans. That's how I find and sort my inventory. So no skew. So I try to not put a lot of time in. Like I don't put the skew on. I don't have to take pictures of a skew. I don't put it in a separate envelope. I don't put it in a separate storage bin and then redo my storage stuff. This is how I do it. It works really well and efficiently for me. So when you get more positive reviews, does it help promote your products more? Not necessarily. No, it doesn't. What it's going to help is just your percentage of positive. So like right now, I think I have two negative right here. So yeah, right now I have 2 negative in the past 12 months. So my feedback is 99.7. Well, if every single person left positive, usually I get about 1/3 people leaving me feedback. So this would be more like 2,000 or more positive and 2. So this would be like 99.9. So it's going to help this. This number right here does not affect your like sales performance or whatever, anything like that. All right, going to put these in a eBay bag. One tip I found is that we all find those dud items that we have a rip or something we didn't see in the store. What we do now is take the button off, draw strings, etc., like those coconut buttons. Yeah, for sure. For sure. An evening live? Good to see you, Colorado. What's up? Yeah, did a little evening live. The bad news is this is the last item. This was a plus. This was a little extra item. It came through while we were doing it. How much did it sell for even? I didn't even see how much it sold for. It sold for, paid $7.99, $22.99, just like the other pair of jeans. Sirs, do you weigh your items when listing, or do you just got to buy estimated weight? Danny, I don't own a scale. I have a scale upstairs in my room, which I weigh myself on, but I don't own a scale. Do I recommend that? No, I recommend you getting a scale. I just don't weigh my items because I've been doing this for so long. I know how much they weigh. I know how much they weigh. So whenever I list stuff, I know how much they weigh. I usually add a couple ounces to it. But yeah, I do not have a scale. But again, if you're new or even if you're a veteran, I recommend getting a scale. Don't do what I do. Don't want you to get hurt with shipping. How do you set the automatic feedback? That's a good question. I don't remember how to do that. You'll just have to go through your eBay seller preferences and all those sorts of things. It's been like years since I've done that. I'm not following what you said about flat rate shipping. You said if you charge calculated shipping, then the person would have paid more. Why? Don't they just pay the actual calculated shipping? So you wouldn't have saved $1 or $2 to the buyer. Okay. So I used to do calculated shipping, Christina, which means I input the size of the item and the weight. So 2 pounds, 10 ounces, and it's 12 by 10 by 2. That's the size and the weight of the package. And then I put in my 46033 where I live. Whoever buys it, UPS will automatically calculate how much it costs to ship to them and charge them how much that is. Well, those prices have gone up over the past 2 months, big time, the biggest I've ever seen. So to try to get prices cheaper for people, I now do flat rate shipping. So I do $7 flat rate on items under a pound, no matter where the person lives, doesn't matter. They pay me $7 for shipping. And then since I print my labels from home, if it's under a pound, it's usually like $5 or $6 for me to buy that label. If it's over a pound, I do $10 flat rate shipping. And as you just saw, that shipping was $7 and something change. That's how much it cost me to ship at home. If I would have done calculated shipping, I saved 40% on that item by shipping it at home. So it would have been 40%, whatever 40% off to equal $7.61. So it would have been like $11 for them instead of costing them $10. What's your thought on Daniel Jones being the starting QB over Anthony Richardson? Anthony Richardson sucks. That's all I have to say. Anthony Richardson sucks. He has proven nothing to the Colts. He gets hurt. He's played less. He started in less than 30 games in his life in NFL and college, I think. He's always hurt. He hasn't proved himself. I'm fine with it. In fact, I'm fine if we can the whole season and pick up Arch Manning. I want Arch Manning in Indianapolis. What a legend. What's up, sir? Hey, it's that late night. You know, it's that late night, 10:30. You know what happens at 11. That's why I got to go. Got to be on the OF page. Just playing. I mean, if I was making a ton of money, I'd do it, right? I only have, I have one. I was just curious. Oh, gotcha. Have a fab evening. Happy thrifting this week. Thanks. So I went thrifting today and I recorded a lot of it. So I'm going to release that video for you guys. How can you change your current listing on eBay when you change shipping on other policies? How can you change all your current listings on eBay? Okay, so good question, Sierra. What I'm going to show you is something tough to find, but I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. So I'm going to bring you over here to YouTube. I'm going to bring you to YouTube. You're going to go to my channel. You're going to go to my channel on YouTube. So here's my YouTube channel. Come down here to live, the live tab. And then you're going to come down to the one that says new eBay shipping policy at 127 mark. Go to this live right here and go to the 1 hour 27 mark. And I'll show you how I changed my shipping policy and what I did. So go to that live right there. It's got 1.7K. That will also tell you that one right there. Boom. So go to that one and watch it at that 1.27. Watch the whole thing if you want to know other brands to resell. See you tonight. Austin tonight. Hey, appreciate you, Rod. I'm used to seeing you in the mornings. Yeah, I know. No morning. I wanted to hit the West Coast peeps, all my Vegas people. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's everything tonight. Appreciate you all being in here. We had 100 people in here, so thank you. And I will see you guys in the next one. I'm gonna put out a video tonight on YouTube So you can watch that if you want to as you go to bed.